Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we are in full Mania season swing. So I figured I want to go over most of the majority of like the feuds that are going into it and the matches that we are getting. Some of these videos might be longer than others just because some of the feuds are a little bit more in depth, and I wanted to start with the one that has honestly the most meat about it because it just has a lot of generational change and passing of the torch, or kind of the opposite of that, I guess. But I don't know, let's just jump right into it. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. It was a match that I think a lot of people wanted to see, but I think it's even gotten bigger that John Cena turned heel for the first time in a long time. And to do it the way he did it with aligning with The Rock, I think also was the big thing because John Cena won the Elimination Chamber, and then he turned on Cody Rhodes when Cody Rhodes was in the process of telling The Rock that he wasn't going to sell his soul to him, and which is just his own crazy side story that Cody's been in this year. But it looks like maybe John Cena is the one that sold his soul, or at least enough that he's some type of enforcer for The Rock. And I feel like yeah, this feud's been like just red hot, even though they've only really had about what, three promos, just kind of back and forth with each other, and just a little bit of stuff like that. It's been probably one of the hottest feuds that they have, and I think it's one of those feuds that like everybody on the most part it has can make this the main event. Like everybody knows this is going to be the main event and like can agree with it because it's just generation of like faces of the company going at it. I mean, you rarely ever get that in wrestling to a certain extent, and into the extent of seeing it in real time when somebody is on their retirement tour, which is John Cena, which you don't really normally get a lot of in wrestling. Sometimes you get certain people that do it, but a lot of people just either try to stick around as long as they can, or they'll say it's their retirement match and then they come back and they do a million other different things. But I feel like this is John Cena's, you know, piece of work that he's going to have. And I feel like there's a few things that can happen from this. Obviously, Cody retaining, I think really would put Cody into a new level of his title run. It actually gave him this first real big feud for him holding this belt. He's kind of had minor feuds, but good matches with people. Kevin Owens, I think, probably the best one this last year. But it definitely always felt like The Rock was looming, and knowing that The Rock's now not really part of it, it does help a little bit for him going forward. So if he retains, we could see a whole new thing, probably with Randy Orton being the first person in line. But if he loses, John Cena getting this title, tying the record or breaking it, I guess is what it is, would be really just kind of crazy to see in this day and age. And I'm kind of leaning towards that, at least for me. I haven't done like a full prediction video or really just sat down and decided what I think is going to happen. But in just kind of thinking about it, it's not a bad idea to have him win it. And him talking about that, he's going to take the belt with him could even just be a whole plan. Like that belt could be retired and it would only have basically three people holding it: Roman, Cody, then Cena, and then they coming up with a new belt or a new design. But they would have the ability to do that because John Cena took this one all the way until he retires, and then they vacate the title and bring back a new one or something like that. Or even if Cody ends up taking the belt off of him again, it would be even more craziness for Cody to have to dig deep and then come back from all this. So there's a lot of stuff that can happen with this feud. Honestly, I think the build up I would give into a solid A. Like obviously, I feel like maybe John Cena wasn't able to go to all of the shows. I wish he was there every single night. I think every single Raw would have been good, or at least SmackDown. Like one SmackDown would have been at least a little bit better. I think that could have definitely helped it. Obviously, what he said a lot of the times was like generational shaking and just a bunch of stuff. So like it really was worth every minute he was there. He put in some crazy amount of work, and obviously Cody Rhodes is driving it home for the last couple weeks. And this is going to be one of those matches that it's going to be just a shaking up of the WWE. No matter what other feud you look at, during this time, this is the thing that changes the whole landscape of the next year because if Cody retains, again, they're going to have to go with some brand new feuds or brand new stuff. And then if, Cena gets it, it just opens up everything being different. All those dream matches that you've thought about for the last decade of people that are still in the current WWE and have their ability to go after John Cena in a big title match type thing could be really fun to see. So I definitely feel like this is the number one feud. Obviously, some of the other ones have caught up to it in being pretty good. I think this match, I think obviously wrestling, it's not going to be the greatest. John Cena is old. I mean, he still has, some moves out there. We saw it at the Elimination Chamber and at the Royal Rumble, but again, that's still a lot to go toe to toe who's with somebody who's wrestled, probably a third of all last year. Like he was always out there doing stuff, you know, going to matches, being out there, being the face of the company. So I think, yeah, we won't see Cody without the title for a long time, or for I don't think a long time if he does drop it. But I guess, what did you guys think? How do you guys rate this feud? I definitely think it's S tier. I think it's the best feud, best everything, like across the board. I think this is the one. I think the only thing I would not pick out of all the categories of feuds and stuff, I think this won't be the best wrestling one. I think there's other feuds out there that will have better wrestling, but doesn't need it, to be honest. It's just been red hot with everything else. And do you think The Rock's gonna come back? I do feel like The Rock and Travis Scott, like, they were there for a reason. I definitely feel like we're gonna get The Rock doing something to take out Cody during this match. I don't see it any other way. It has to be that way because why have The Rock there, I guess. But if he's busy, he's busy, I guess. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. You guys excited for WrestleMania? We're getting so close, and it's looking so good with a lot of these feuds. So I'm excited. But until next time, this has been Japan. If you like this type of wrestling content, I post daily. Right now, I'm posting multiple videos per day and shorts and edits and stuff like that because it's WrestleMania season, and this is the time to just be out there and do stuff. So if you like that type of stuff, we will probably be doing some type of WrestleMania watch party too, if anybody would be down in Discord and stuff, and just have a nice little friendly community and stuff. So until next time, Ben Japan. Bye, guys.